I'd be lying to you if I told you that other people's strengths did not trigger my insecurity for a majority of my life. I would walk into the gym and I would see somebody bigger than I was, which wasn't hard at the time, or might not even be right now, even though I put on a little bit of gains. But I was in a place where I would see somebody who was in better physical shape, who was bigger, stronger, faster, whatever it was, and I would feel insecure. And so that insecurity would then show up as envy or jealousy, right? I wanted what that person had, or I wanted that person not to have what they had. I had that feeling, or I would see somebody driving in the Lambo, and here I was driving in my Hyundai. And I would think to myself, oh, they must be this and that type of person. In reality, I was insecure. I felt ashamed that I couldn't be in that situation. So I felt envy. I want what they have, or I felt jealousy. I wish they didn't have what they have. And I really had to start facing this, right? And I'll be honest with you, for maybe a decade of awareness around my jealousy and envy and this, insecurity overall, I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I pretended that it wasn't there because that's the way that I was programmed to operate, right? Things just don't exist. Suppress, 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 repress, repress, repress. But I finally came to a breaking point, and I'll share the story with you guys eventually. But in essence, I came to a place where I said, you know what? I can't live like this anymore. This is too much to bear. And it's affecting every single relationship I have. It's affecting every friendship dynamic. It's affecting my entire life, my career, my purpose, etc. Like I couldn't even really do this at the level that I do it, or with the courage and well, I wouldn't even call it courage and boldness, but with the confidence that I'm now doing. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for me finally facing those deeper insecurities, those beliefs that I was inadequate, I was not enough. And so when I started to look at it, it was very painful, but it was also very liberating for me because I started to look the devil in his eyes, in essence, right? You start to really face those demons and realize, like, wait a minute, these are not me. Like, they're not a part of who I am. These voices, right? These beliefs of inadequacy, this is not me. This is not me. These are programs that have been conditioned into me. The belief that I am not enough, the belief that I have to be this or that in order to fit in, the belief that I will only be worthy of love when I am at a certain place doing certain things with certain people at a certain time. All of those thoughts were programmed into me by external voices that I internalized and took as my own voice. And when I started to realize that, I thought to myself, wait a minute, this is off. This is not it. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, I am enough. In and of myself, I'm more than enough. Not because I am better than the next person. Like I didn't start walking into the gym saying, well, I'm buffer than anybody, so I'm better than everybody, because that's still insecurity. Believe it or not, arrogance is one of the most poignant, the most potent versions of insecurity. It shows itself through bravado, right? It shows itself through peacocking. The individual who has to show that they are this and that in front of everybody. I'm not talking about the ones who just emanate that energy. I'm talking about the ones who let people know. You got to know that I'm the one, right? I am him. If you are claiming that you are him to everybody, you're probably the most insecure person in the room. And again, I believe you should believe in yourself wholeheartedly. You should know who you are. Stand in your power. Never self-deprecate. Walk in that power and that authority, period. But if you're doing it from a place of shallowness, of hollowness, you're doing it to fill yourself, it's coming from a place of insecurity. And so you have to really start looking at that insecurity. And so I bring it to why we feel insecurity around people, and then how to actually strip that insecurity away, how to actually shed that insecurity like an old snake skin, right? So insecurity is the belief that I am not enough, right? It's literally in the word. It is insecure. It is the lacking of security. I believe that I am not secure. So this is rooted obviously in the ego. The ego's main driver is survival at any cost, even the most ridiculous seeming survival. That's what the business of the ego is, right? It's a survival aspect of human beings. And so it says to us, if something happens that threatens our survival, which may be status, which may be how people view us, which may be, um, well, I think it's just based around those two, really. It's how we're seen by others, right? Because if we're in a village and we were seen as unsavory or undeserving of the tribe, then we'd be kicked out the tribe and we survive. We still have that same apparatus functioning as right now at this very moment in time. At least if we do not evolve past this, right? We do not self-actualize. We will remain in this place where we're seeing any threat to our status, any threat to our reputation, or this mask or facade that we created for ourselves. We will start to view the world from that lens. And we will see everybody as a threat so long as they are not conforming to that image that we've created to create this perception about ourselves. And so when we see somebody who triggers something that seems to, let's say, dim our light per se, right? Not in the classical use of that term, but let's say we feel like we're shining because we literally have, let's say the best outfit, the jewels on, we dripped out, right? We're dripping, we're drippy. Then somebody walks in and they got double the drip at double the cost. Now you're no longer the most drippy in that room. Your drippy evaluation just dropped. It's plummeted. You in the drippy stock market are damn near irrelevant. And that person is now Apple or Amazon of drip. And so what do? Well, you think to yourself, that person is X, Y, and Z, right? You start to think terrible thoughts about this person, holding malicious intentions maybe. You don't want them to have what they have, or you want what they have. And all of that is stemming from a place of feeling insecure. You do not feel secure now in your standing. Now, am I saying it's wrong to have all the drip in the world, all the gold, all the chains, all the Gucci, Versace, Prada, BD, Bada? No, absolutely not. I think you should have all the things that you desire. But if you're using them as a means of peacocking to the world or projecting this image, you will always keep and cultivate that internal feeling of insecurity. And so for us to let go of that feeling of being insecure around others is letting go of it within ourselves. It's not others who are making us insecure. We are triggered by others because we already have the insecurity within, right? If we see somebody who has something that we desire and we think is going to make us look better in the eyes of others, which means we're going to get more love and affection from those people. And now that somebody else has it and we don't have it, they're going to get the love and we won't. That's really the belief system that's taking place, right? That's really the program that is at play. When we have a belief like that, we will forever hold resentment towards the world and we will loathe within ourselves. We will have a level of self-hatred, and that self-hatred externalizes as resentment and bitterness. And even in some cases, hatred towards others, right? Because life is always acting as this mirror. And so in order for us to truly let go of that internal sense of insecurity, we have to start basing our worth from within. Now, I have made a majority of my videos at least touching on this once, because I believe it is the epicenter and the core of what we are all truly seeking, quote unquote, or searching for. It is the elements of our true identity, who we truly are, outside of reputation, outside of status, outside of perception of others. And there's a part of us that knows that there is love to be had, but we look for it in all the wrong places, as the old song used to say, right? We're looking for love in all the wrong places. We're looking for validation in all the wrong places, worthiness in all the wrong places. And so when we start to actually cultivate that relationship within ourselves, which is spending that time in meditation, yes, that's right, the thing you've been avoiding and making excuses about, spending time in meditation, stop fearing your own thoughts, go within, right? Reflection, that means without this right here or anything of this nature, just being by yourself in solitude and allowing yourself to see the contents of your own mind, to see those subconscious thoughts showing themselves. Life is always guiding you to higher development or enlightenment or actualization. It's always leading upward. It's always leading expansively, but we hold it back and we try to fight the current as opposed to just going with the flow. And when you're holding on to that insecurity, you're going against the flow. You are rowing upstream. And it's time to let those oars go. As Abraham Hicks often says, it's time to let go of the oars. And the only way you can do that is to start to look within for these elements. The things that you've been seeking outside of yourself, you actually seek within yourself. That's a piece of game right there. If it's a relationship that you want, then it's a relationship you are deprived of within yourself. If it's this appreciation you want from somebody else, then it's appreciation you're seeking within yourself. Now, as I wrap this up, I do want to let you guys know that I have officially published my very first book. Now, this is my original manuscript, right? The note takers version, but there is now a smaller paperback version that is available for your more than your use, to be honest, for your evolution, for your expansion. Like, this is the book I wish I had when I was 7, 8 years old. This would have led me to write a book at 8 or 10 years old. Like, I would have had that much confidence. I would not have become a people pleaser. So Doing Me Guilt-Free is the name of the book. Make sure to get your copy by going down into the description below. And secondly, I also launched a course that is by the same name, and it is basically a breakdown of all of this content, but in an applicable way, right? Like, this gives you the game, and the course takes you to where you're actually implementing day by day. It's an 8-week course. You do it at your own pace. However, it allows you to truly start breaking free from people pleasing and stepping into that personal power, right? And I believe that's what a majority of the world struggles with. When I look to the world and I say, what is the deepest issue here? It's the fact that we're so obsessed with people pleasing and we forget our personal power. Now, I appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen and to watch. Make sure to subscribe to this channel wherever it's located when you watch it. It might be on YouTube, might be some new thing in the future, right? You might be watching some set of goggles or whatever it is. So wherever it is, make sure that you subscribe and you continue to track and follow. But otherwise, this right here, again, I'm not just saying this because I wrote it. Honestly, I damn near channeled this thing right here. It just came right out of me. It flowed right out of me. It was a complete God download. And it is the book that I wish I had when I was a child. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.